WWE is on the edge of an era-defining shift, and the aftershocks of Money in the Bank 2025 are still being felt throughout the wrestling world. In an atmosphere charged with emotion, betrayal, and shocking developments, the WWE universe is buzzing with speculation, and all eyes have turned to one man for clarity: Triple H. Following one of the most chaotic pay-per-view events in recent memory, the chief content officer finally broke his silence backstage in a revealing moment that could set the course for WWE's future. The night started with heartbreak as jey Uso, after an emotional and hard-fought battle, lost the World Heavyweight Championship to Gunther. For many fans, Jey's defeat marked the end of a redemption arc years in the making. However, the disappointment didn't end there. What came next shocked everyone watching. Jacob Fatu, a fierce enforcer and rising powerhouse within the Samoan dynasty, launched a brutal and unexpected assault on Solo Sikoa, turning his back on his own bloodline family member in a violent display that left Solo laid out in the ring. Fans gasped. Commentators were speechless. This wasn't just another heel turn. This was a betrayal that ripped through the heart of the bloodline. And while the dust still settled, Seth Rollins saw an opportunity. With the Money in the Bank briefcase in hand, he wasted no time and cashed in on the chaos, adding even more confusion and intensity to the night. Rollins emerged with gold, leaving the title scene in absolute turmoil. But behind the chaos, a larger story was unfolding, one that might involve Roman Reigns himself, and a potential return that could reshape everything. As tension rippled through the WWE locker room and online communities exploded with theories, Triple H finally made his way into the spotlight in a rare backstage segment. Standing beside a dimly lit production crate, his face unreadable, Triple H delivered a series of cryptic but telling remarks. "What happened to jey Uso was unfortunate," he began, speaking in a low and careful tone. His words were deliberate, measured, each syllable seeming to carry a deeper meaning. But it was when Jacob Fatu's name came up that the tone shifted. A slight smirk crept across Triple H's face. Then came the game-changing moment. When asked about the possibility of Roman Reigns reforming a version of the Shield amidst the mayhem, Triple H responded with a line that sent the WWE universe into overdrive. "Sometimes you need anarchy to restore order." That one sentence exploded across social media platforms. Was this a signal that the tribal chief is planning a grand return? Could the chaos be part of a bigger strategy to rebuild the bloodline in a new, more dominant form? Could Roman Reigns be orchestrating a reinvention of the Shield, not with Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins, but with new warriors like jey Uso and Jacob Fatu under his command? Could the betrayal of Solo Sikoa have been an elaborate loyalty test, rather than a rogue act of rebellion? Insider reports suggest that Paul Heyman is anything but calm. Sources close to the situation say Heyman has been scrambling behind the scenes, calling for emergency meetings and demanding updates. Known for his role as the mastermind behind Reigns' historic run, Heyman's urgency points to one thing: something big is coming, and it's already in motion. Meanwhile, jey Uso is at a breaking point. After giving everything in pursuit of championship gold, he's now left with nothing: no title, no brotherly alliance, and no clear direction. The emotional weight of his defeat and Fatu's betrayal has driven him to a crossroads. Could this lead to a shocking return to Roman's side? Is it possible that Jey, who once tried to break free from Roman's shadow, might now be willing to join forces again in a darker, more dangerous version of the bloodline? Adding even more intrigue to the unfolding drama, Triple H was spotted shortly after the interview engaged in a hushed, serious conversation with Randy Orton. Observers noted the intensity of the exchange. Could Orton be part of WWE's next big twist? Could the Viper be a wild card in the Tribal Chief's looming war? Or is Triple H assembling multiple factions, laying the groundwork for an all-out WWE civil war? One thing is certain: Triple H's cryptic comments were not made lightly. They weren't just a response to fan outrage. They were the first calculated steps in what appears to be WWE's most ambitious long-term narrative in years. The questions now swirling are too many to ignore. Is Roman Reigns already preparing his return behind the scenes? Will he emerge at SummerSlam with a new faction by his side, declaring war on both old enemies and traitors within his own bloodline? What role will Seth Rollins play now that he's at the top once again, and will his new title reign paint a target on his back? Could we witness the rise of a new Shield, a more aggressive, calculated, and vengeful alliance led by a Roman Reigns unshackled from past loyalties? As WWE barrels toward SummerSlam, the stakes have never been higher. The foundation of the bloodline has cracked. Alliances are shifting. Enemies are circling. And in the shadows, the tribal chief may already be plotting his return, ready to reclaim his throne and redefine what dominance means in WWE. Get ready, because the next chapter in WWE's ongoing saga isn't just a storyline, it's a reckoning. Turn on notifications, because when Roman Reigns returns, nothing will ever be the same again. Breaking developments have shaken the very foundation of WWE as Chief Content Officer Triple H has finally addressed the uproar following a whirlwind of chaos set off at Money in the Bank 2025. Jey Uso's heartbreaking loss of the World Heavyweight Championship to Gunther was just the beginning of the storm. What followed was a betrayal that shocked fans worldwide. Jacob Fatu turned on his own bloodline brother Solo Sikoa, leaving the Samoan legacy fractured and vulnerable. As if that wasn't enough, Seth Rollins seized the moment to execute a ruthless Money in the Bank cash-in, throwing the championship picture into absolute disarray. Now, WWE is at a pivotal crossroads, and fans are demanding answers. Backstage, in a rare and tense interview, Triple H finally broke his silence. With the air thick with tension, he leaned casually against a production crate, delivering carefully chosen words that sent the WWE Universe into a frenzy. Addressing Jey's loss, he stated it was unfortunate, his tone measured but loaded with meaning. But when asked about Jacob Fatu's betrayal, his subtle smirk hinted at deeper layers beneath the chaos. Then came the real bombshell. When pressed about the possibility of Roman Reigns reforming a new Shield-like faction amidst the mayhem, Triple H cryptically remarked, "Sometimes you need anarchy to restore order." The answers may be coming sooner than expected, and when they arrive, the entire landscape of WWE could be permanently transformed. Stay tuned, because the return of the tribal chief might just be the spark that ignites a whole new war. And in a moment that added even more fuel to the speculation, Triple H was spotted moments later having a hushed conversation with none other than Randy Orton. Was this a mere coincidence, or is WWE's cerebral mastermind laying the groundwork for an even larger twist in this ever-evolving story? One thing is now clear: Triple H's remarks were not random, nor were they damage control. They were the first deliberate strokes in what may be WWE's most ambitious storyline yet. With SummerSlam rapidly approaching, and the blue